Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Yesterday was Teacher Appreciation Day, and so our story problem is about how Miss Rosales, as you all know, loves to show her appreciation for others by giving them gifts. And so our story, I gave you a hint of what it's about. It's about Miss Rosales and her love for other people. So while I read the story, remember when we do our story problems, we do a 3 reads protocol where we read the story 3 different times. The first time we read, we really want to ask who are the characters and what are they doing. The second time we read, we think about the numbers and what they represent in this story specifically. And then the last time we read, we put all of that information together, consolidate it in our heads, and we ask ourselves, what are we being asked to solve? And is this a subtraction problem or an addition problem? That's kind of new. All right, so as I read, make sure you're making a mental image of what is happening in the story in your head. Miss Rosales wanted to share her appreciation for the other teachers at 24th Street Elementary School. She decided to give each teacher a yummy chocolate bar. Sorry, Miss Yukimowicz is all tongue-tied. She has chocolate bars. She gave out chocolate bars. How many chocolate bars does Miss Rosales have left to give to all of the other important staff at 24th Street? Okay, so teachers, when you're ready, give me a thumbs up. And students, when you are ready, tell your friend next to you, your brother, your sister, your mom or dad, or your grandma or grandpa, what the story is about in this today. All right, Miss Hernandez, what is our story about today?
So it's Teacher Appreciation Day, and Miss Rosales wants to show her kindness and her generosity to all the teachers at 24th Street by giving them a chocolate bar. So she has a lot of chocolate bars to give. She passes them out to some of her teachers, and then she's going to have some more left to pass out later to other staff at 24th Street.
Perfect. Beautifully said, Ms. Hernandez. Thank you. So now we're going to go to our second read where we're going to pick our number set and we're going to figure out what these numbers represent in our story. So go to page 2 and Ms. Rosales, can you pick what our number set is for today?
Sure. I had 45 bars, so that's third set.
Ooh, all right. So I'm going to use my pen feature to circle this, and then I'm going to zoom in to really get those small spaces. So first, okay, 45 is in the first one. And then Ms. Rosales, when you are ready, can you read the story again for our friends at home?
Sure. Ms. Rosales wanted to share her appreciation for the other teachers at 24th Street Elementary School. She decided to give each teacher a yummy chocolate bar. She has 45 chocolate bars. She gave out 28 chocolate bars. How many chocolate bars does Ms. Rosales have left to give to other staff at 24th Street?
Okay, so now let's think about what does this 45 mean in the story? So what does she have 45 of, Ms. T?
Ms. Rosales has 45 chocolate bars to give out.
Right, so that's how many she's going to give to all of the teachers at 24th Street. And Miss Hernandez, what does the 28 represent?
That represents how many chocolate bars she actually gave out to teachers.
So remember, she came into school with those 45 chocolate bars and she was able to give out 28 chocolate bars to all of the teachers. All right, so now our third read, we're going to ask ourselves, what are we being asked to solve? And is this an addition sentence or a subtraction sentence or a subtraction problem? So here's the last read. Make sure you're really paying attention. Miss Rosales wanted to share her appreciation for the other teachers at 24th Street Elementary School. She decided to give each teacher a yummy chocolate bar. She has 45 chocolate bars. She gave out 28 chocolate bars. How many chocolate bars does Miss Rosales have left to give to the other staff at 24th Street? All right. So let's really think about this. And boys and girls, I want you to pause for a minute and think, do you think this is an addition problem or a subtraction problem? And why do you think that? So when you're ready, you can press play to see what our teachers come up with and what they suggest. All right. Miss Hernandez, what are we being asked to do in this problem today?
We're being asked to find out how many chocolate bars are left after Miss Rosales gave away those 28.
And that's important, right? She already gave those 28 away. So how many does she have left? So Miss Hernandez, are you thinking this is an addition problem or a subtraction problem? And how do you know?
I'm thinking it's a subtraction problem because she came in with 45 chocolate bars, but she did give away 28, so she's going to have less. So I'm thinking it's going to be a subtraction problem.
And teachers, is there any, do you guys agree, or is there any other ideas that you might have? Agree. So yeah, she did start with all of those 45. Then she came in with the idea that I'm going to give them away to other people. So ultimately, she's going to have less chocolate bars. So she already gave out those 28 to the teachers. Now we need to figure out how many she has left over to give to other people. So right now, teachers, if you can use a strategy that you want to work with today, either efficient strategy or something that you want to challenge yourself with, go ahead, and when you're ready, just give me a thumbs up. And friends, this is your opportunity to work on a strategy side by side with our teachers to see what you did and compare it to what we did, and to also compare your answer. So this is your time to really see, did I do all of the steps that was asked of me? Am I getting the correct answer? All right, Ms. T, can you start us off? What is the strategy you're using today?
So I'm using the tens and ones strategy, and I want to make sure, boys and girls, you understand what this looks like, because we have a lot of friends who are doing something very different. It's close, but it's not the tens and ones strategy. This is the tens and ones strategy because it has the tens and ones chart. And so what I did first was I represented 45. And so I drew 4 tens and 5 ones. Now, because I'm subtracting, I don't need to represent 28. I need to show how I take away 28. So I'm not going to add 28 into the chart. I'm taking it away. So I always take away the ones first. And so I'm going to take away 8, but I don't have enough. So I'm going to borrow from the tens place and move 10 ones over there to decompose into 10 ones. Then I can take away 8. So I crossed out 8, 5 here, 6, 7, 8, and I was left over with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 ones. So I'm done with my ones place, but now I have to do my tens place, and I'm taking away 28, not just 8. So I had to also take away 2 tens. So I crossed out 2 tens, and I'm left with 1 10 right here, and then 7. So I have 17 as my answer.
Thank you, Ms. T, for being so thorough and explaining that. And I'm going to explain it one more time along with our standard algorithm so that the friends who are using that standard algorithm can check their work and can see another example. So Ms. T reminded us that when we do our tens and ones strategy, we have to show that we have the tens column and the ones column. And we start with our minuend, and our minuend is our whole number, right? The bigger number. We cannot take away from a smaller number, so we have to start with the minuend, the big number. So I'm going to represent 45 in tens and ones. So 45 has 4 tens, so I'm going to draw that. 10, 20, 30, 40, and 5 ones. So I'm going to draw that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then when you do the standard algorithm, you line up the numbers vertically so that the bigger number, the minuend, is on the top, 45. And then our subtrahend is on the bottom. But you need to make sure that you line up the tens and the ones so that they're stacked onto each other. And then you put your symbol and your equal sign. Okay, now we need to subtract, and that's an important piece because we know from before that we are subtracting in this problem, so we need to show subtraction. When we show subtraction, we're crossing something out to tell people that it's no longer there. That's why we cross it out, so that they see it was there, but then we took it away. If we erase and use the erase feature, the person who's looking at our work is not going to understand what we started with. So we need to make sure that we show the taking away by writing an X or a slash. And I'm going to use a different color just to represent that. Oh, but first, we need to look. We don't have enough ones to take away 8. We only have 5. And so that's less than 8. So we need to borrow a 10. So we get a 10 from the tens place, and we regroup by taking it apart or decomposing it into 10 ones. So I'm going to draw 5 on top, and then 5 on the bottom to make a total of 10 ones. And remember, this 10 rod is no longer in this space anymore. It moved over to the ones place. So now I can take away the 8 ones. So I know 8 ones is 5. Oh, and I'm going to use a different color to really show taking away. So 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so those are taken away. And that's the same thing we do with our algorithm. We notice 5 minus 8, we can't do that. So we need to borrow from the tens place. So we take 1, and 1 minus 4 is 3. So that leaves me with 3. But then we add a 10 to the 5, and that becomes 15. And that's what happened before we started taking away. We had 10 plus 5 made 15. And now we can take away 15 from 8. I can either count back or I can count up from 8. And I'm going to count back this time. So I start with 15 in my head, and then I'm going to count back by 8. So 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. Yes. So 7, I was just making sure. So 7 is here. And then let's see, do I have 7 in my ones place? Yes, I do. 5 and 2 make 7. Okay, now I need to see the 3 minus 2. So I know 3 minus 2 is 1. So I have 17, but I need to show that in my tens space. So I have 3 tens, take away 2, and I'm going to use black to really show that I'm taking away. So 1, 2, and what I have left is a 1. So 110, not a 1, but 110. All right, so then I have 7 ones and 110, which gives me 17, and that's exactly what Ms. T showed us. So we did that using the tens and ones strategy, and if you want to challenge yourself, using the standard algorithm. So now we're going to have one more teacher, or both of our teachers actually, share their strategy. Next, Ms. Rosales, can you share what strategy you worked on today?
Sure. I used the number line strategy.
Right.
So as you can see, I started with my equation written horizontally to help me visualize. I decomposed the 28 into a 20 and an 8. I went ahead and was able to fit it in one number line. But of course, kids, if you do not have room for it, it's okay to create another number line underneath. I start off on the right-hand side, 45, because I'm getting smaller. I put my 45 on the right side because I'm going to bunny hop backwards. Because I decomposed the 20, it's made up of 2 10s. So 45, take 10, and take another 10. And that went from 45, 35, and 25. And that's simply just 45 take away 20. And then that's just the equation that leads to that. And then I went ahead and did that second part of my decomposition of 28, that 8. And I did 8 bunny hops on the number line. I went ahead and indicated 5 on the top though, because that's a friendly number, because I remember what Ms. Hernandez taught us, that, you know, if you notice friendly numbers, you can use those to help you out. So then I took 5 away, 25, and took 5 away, gave me my friendly number 20, and 3 more is going to give me 17.
Right. Awesome. All right, thank you. So I'm going to show what Ms. Rosales did here in a zoomed in version. So she decomposed 28 into friendly numbers, 10s and 1s. So we have 20 and 8. And then she started with 45. And remember, we're jumping back because this is a subtraction problem. So she started here with 45. And then she jumped back 2 10s, which is 20. So 1, that wasn't very even, 1, 2, kind of a little bit. We're working on it. So that was minus 10, and then another minus 10, and makes 20. And then she wanted to jump back 8 more times to really get this 8 because we already did this. So now let's do 8 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And she stopped at 5 because she knows 5 plus 3 make 8. 5, 6, 7, 8. And this was the number that she stopped at. So if we already did that, let's count back. So from minus 10, that's 35. And 35 minus another 10 is 25. And then we can count back by ones, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17. And she landed at 17. And right here, they're all minus 1. So she jumped back one space. And we want to show that because the other spaces showed minus 10. We need to show our readers and whoever's looking at this math work that we're jumping by ones now. We need to be very clear about it. And so her equation, first she started with, let me put it here. So first she started with, sorry, Ms. Rosales, 45 minus 20 gave us 25. And then she had another equation where she said 25 minus 8 gave us the grand total of 17. So now we see that 3 different strategies that show 17. Ms. Hernandez, can you show your strategy for us?
Of course I can. So again, it's the same equation, 45 minus 28. So I decompose the 28 into 20 and 8. And I decompose the 20 even further. I know that's made up of 2 10s. So I'm going to take away those 2 10s from 45. So 45 take away a 10 is 35. Take away that other 10 gave me 25. But now I have to remember I have 25 and I still have to subtract that 8. So I'm thinking of friendly numbers again, and I decompose that 8 into a 5 and a 3 because I know if I have 25 minus 5 will take me to 20, and I have 3 more to take away, 19, 18, 17. So I got the answer 17.
Great. And so there we go. We see 4 different strategies that show that 17 is our answer. So we need to make sure that we put it into our sentence here. And when you zoom in, you're able to move around a lot better and maybe work a little bit easier. So that's what I'm using the zooming in. And Ms. Rosales, can you read our sentence for us and all of our friends at home?
Sure. Give me a second to hop back on. Sure. It says, Ms. Rosales has 17 chocolate bars left to give to our 24th Street staff.
Perfect. So make sure that you are showing your work using 2 different equations and that you show our number sentence and write the answer in the sentence provided. Remember, if you want a 4, make sure to do this twice using 2 different number sets, not the ones that we're doing because we're giving you the answer. We want you to do some 2 different number sets. So if you want that 4, do it twice. But if you want a 3, you only need to do it once. And we hope that you're reaching for that 4 because we want to do as best as we can to really practice. And we're excited to see your work. Thank you so much for joining us today. We'll see you later. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Don't forget to subscribe.